Hey everybody, my Zoomer producers ran out of fresh ideas, so they decided to make really cheap content by having me respond to the worst tweets ever made. The worst tweets across all variety of subject, genre, social milieu. So I have no idea what's in here. All I know is this is an extremely low-effort video. Let's take it away. First one from Atheist Bad. I propose a class action lawsuit against Christianity. They sell nothing but lies. Let's make them verifiably prove their God exists in a court of law. If they can't, I want compensation for all the damage they've done to me and society as a whole. Someone get this man a fedora. We need to start tipping fedoras. Are we reacting to Twitter or Reddit? This seems to be straight from the infernal bowels of Reddit. Wicked, not only because it's sacrilegious and everything, but because it's just so dull.
You're boring!
The banality of tweeting. That's what this is. This has a good claim to be the worst of the tweets because it's so powerfully lame. From Keep Sick Solid, 2 high-calorie humans wanted for allegedly setting fire to an apartment in Toronto. What's bad about that? I don't see anything bad about that. I guess what's bad is there's not a hyphen between high and calorie, because high calorie is an adjective here rather than a noun. High calorie is like a calorie that just puffed on a big bong or something. I would never want to mock someone's appearance or anything like that, but if you speak in euphemisms, that's a little bit funnier. It's like whimsical. I think high-calorie humans, it's kind of funny. No, it's not. You don't want to call people fat or anything, but I don't know. They burned an apartment down. Maybe they could probably take a rhetorical jab or two. That one's fine. That's not even in the running. Ryan Sheed. Donald Trump has reported himself meeting and speaking with world leaders. That's okay, this is up there for it. That's a violation of the Logan Act. He's done this several times now. Why the F is Donald Trump allowed to break every law we have? If you hear the Logan Act invoked, you're very likely going to hear some low-grade political discourse. Both sides of the aisle have engaged in it. I've probably referenced the Logan Act before.
Ooh, self-burn. Those are rare.
But the Logan Act is sometimes invoked as a way to prosecute your political opponents for ever speaking to a foreigner. He was talking to his waiter at the Chinese restaurant the other day. Bring him up on the Logan Act. But it's never been prosecuted. Certainly not against a president. It's totally ridiculous. One of the dumber ways to attack Trump. But there's so many dumb ways to attack Trump. I'm not sure that really even cracks the top 10. Not Going to the Moon says, thinking about writing a book. Rightting. I've read a fair number of books. I've read a lot of modern books. That would not be disqualifying for a lot of modern books. I've read books, even books by friends of mine.
Go f*** yourself.
In years past, you perhaps had to have a relatively decent grasp on the English language to publish a book. Today, not so much. Maybe this is just a return to the time before English was standardized. The time of the Founding Fathers when they would spell things all weird and everything. Maybe we're just going back to that. That guy could write a book, though not if he keeps deleting his compositions. From Milo. So he's responding to someone, says, he's in no way fat. This is JD Vance. He's in no way fat. He's a nice looking man. Your video is old. And Milo is responding, I guess, to this guy who is defending JD Vance. I guess people are saying JD is chubby or something. I don't think he is. JD is a good-looking guy. You have fundamentally misunderstood the nature of fatness. It doesn't matter how much weight he loses. He is a fat man with fat morals. He is fat in the brain, maybe the fattest person I've ever seen, obese and corpulent and gigantesque fat. As is often the case with Milo, I kind of see the point he's getting at.
I don't know, man. Seems kind of good to me.
Put JD aside. I think JD is terrific and a very good choice for VP. Milo is speaking of the spiritual implications of a physical sign, which persist even when the physical sign no longer endures. And that's actually an interesting point to make. So that's not the worst. From Rev Defeated. Being anti-cousin marriage is simply a way to be bigoted against Muslims. It causes literally no problem for anyone except the bigots. It triggers. Bigots is also misspelled.
Bigot.
But I guess that makes sense because bigoted was misspelled. If you hate cousin marriage, you will effing hate Palestine and should take that flag out of your screen name.
Deal.
People have married their cousins in the past, and I've seen some argument that it doesn't necessarily dramatically increase the risk of genetic anomalies, but it's probably best avoided, I would say. It's a big wide world out there. Though I did learn, I was doing genealogy, and I learned, I think it was something like 5 generations back, we had a couple of cousins in my direct line. So maybe that explains it. I don't know. There's just one. There's been a lot more genetic diversity down the line. So, but still, yeah, generally, you shouldn't marry your cousin. I think generally. Right now, go to expressvpn.com/Michael, letter Y, letter T. Social media companies get to decide what content is suitable for us, and they censor whatever they don't like. Shouldn't you be the one to decide what you want to read or watch, not them? Here's one thing you can control: their access to your data. For that, I use ExpressVPN. The problem with big tech companies is that not only do they censor what you read, but they track what you do online. They track what you're searching for, the videos you watch, and everything you click. They use these data to serve you ads and can match your activity to your offline identity using your device's unique IP address. When I use ExpressVPN, these tech companies cannot see my IP address at all. My identity is masked and anonymized by a secure VPN server. Plus, ExpressVPN encrypts 100% of your data to protect you from hackers and internet bad guys. ExpressVPN software takes just 1 minute to set up on your computer or phone. You tap one button, you are protected. Why give the tech companies a free license to know everything about you and then turn around and sell off your information? It's time to take back your privacy at expressvpn.com/Michael, letter Y, letter T. By visiting my special link, you'll get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN service for free. Who doesn't like to save money, huh? expressvpn.com/Michael, letter Y, letter T. expressvpn.com/Michael YT to protect your data today. Fascists are also my enemies, says Justin Malayas. Fascism is the diametrically opposed counterpart to communism. If communism is in fundamental opposition to your values, you are a fascist.
Ow! Fucking fascist!
It drives me crazy when right-wingers call our opponents on the left fascists when in fact they are communists. I made this point in my book, Speechless, Controlling Words, Controlling Minds. They're different. They're not the same thing. But there are alternatives to that. You know, there's liberalism is a little different than fascism and communism. Even socialism is a little distinct from all those things. Conservatism, traditionalism.
Autism.
I don't know. There are all sorts of variations because fascism and communism do have a lot in common. They're both modern political ideologies. They both make an idol out of the state in practice, if not in theory. In fascism, it's explicitly in theory. They're both essentially individualist ideologies that then subsume the individual in an inorganic collective, as opposed to, say, conservatism or traditionalism, which recognizes that man is not fundamentally an individual, but rather is part of his community. You know, there's even all sorts of right-wingedness, right? There's a sort of civic right-wingedness. There's blood and soil, throne and altar. No one talks about that one anymore. There's a lot to politics. Heterosexual sex, says someone with an Arabic name. I think that's Arabic. Yeah, that's Arabic. Is misogynist. It's anti-women and pro-men. Majority of women don't have pleasure in het sex. I thought that was a misspelling for hot sex, but it's het, like heterosexual. It majorly deems women's bodies as objects, majorly, not minorly, and authorizes male supremacy. It's not natural, it's coerced. It disregards aspects of the female genitalia and dictate women's worth as only holes. Oh, good grief. Well, I guess I would just tell her, I think she's not doing it right.
She's dead.
Which and the right way to do it is within the context of marriage, to be open to life, you know, to beget children and then educate them. And so anyway, yeah, this is clearly a woman who's been traumatized either by ideology or some past experience. But, you know, men and women, they're kind of made for each other. You know, we kind of go together. We fit, you know, and that maybe that implies something. That one's one of the dumbest ones. I feel bad for her, though, because she's obviously had some traumatic experience. Do you believe that Trump has converted to Judaism? I can tell that my Mossad agent, associate producer, has chosen a lot of these, Professor Jacob. Do you believe that Trump has converted to Judaism? Well, he's got Jews in his family. But I don't know that he's converted to Judaism. He's got a little bit of that power positive thinking kind of thing going on. He's married to a pretty serious Catholic. He's visited the JP2 shrine. There's a Saint John Paul II. I don't know. That's kind of silly. I don't think Trump's converted to Judaism. He would never put one of those little hats on his beautiful hair, right? There's no way he would tolerate that. No yarmulkes for President Trump.
You sure about that?
Rug curved into oak floor by Selva Aparicio. I'm in love. Okay, but what if my dog urinated on this? Then what? I'd start with grabbing paper towels or something. I don't know. Good thing it's not on the carpet, or that would have been a problem. Do you know how unsealed wood works? It would immediately soak in and stay there. Oh yeah, would it? Big urine guy, huh? You know how urine reacts on any surface, you said? What did I just read? It's not the worst of the posts because I don't even really know what I just experienced. I can't draw a judgment about it. Put that to the side. And then one references Professor Jacob. It says Professor Jacob is a huge sexist a-hole. That one's obviously true, so that's probably one of the best ones out there. I'm going to give a break to this poor traumatized Arabic gal who doesn't understand, the men and women. I'm going to say the first one is the winner. The Tribly tipping Reddit tier atheist. Oh, yeah, but can you verifiably prove that God exists? Well, I can actually through St. Thomas's 5 ways and a number of other strong arguments for the existence of God, the existence of whom can be known by human beings using natural reason from the created world. But I don't think we're going to go to court of law. I think you're going to keep tipping your fedora, Buster. Trimbley. I'm Michael Knowles. See you next time.